All right. We're gonna have I'm gonna get some nice B-roll shots. I'm gonna have a little like theme song coming in.
Okay.
And then we'll think of some sort of like little quick intro.
Nice, I like it.
But just pretend that there's just been an intro.
Okay.
Wait.
Let's do that B-roll where we're pretending like we're doing shit right now. Like.
Yeah, they'll just be little like clips zoomed in.
Right.
And I have a video of Costa doing the worm
that's good.
last night.
Huge.
That's a good one.
That's huge.
That's a great.
Are you guys ready for me to jump right in?
I'm ready. I'm ready whenever.
All right. We're going to jump right in. What this show is basically going to be, and everyone can touch on what they want it to be, but it's basically going to be us giving our gambling picks. This is the first one, so it's going to be going over the futures. But sometime between now and week 1, we're also going to do just week 1 bets.
Yep.
So it'll be similar to betting shows you've seen in the past, where we're going to give all of our picks. We'll come prepared, but then we'll also have like our best bet. So if you're watching and you just want to, you want to tail Costa, like you want to fade Mo, you know what the best bet is to do.
Obviously. Awful choice coming from me.
To tail you?
Yeah.
The confidence is already not there from Costa. Yeah, he's got his own. He's got his own camera.
I feel like there's
but
also
no
a question of
you have to. This is the thing, with me, right?
We're cutting the Costa cam right now.
Yeah, Costa cam right now.
All right.
Costa cam.
It's early into the show, right? You gotta wait for my picks. I'm gonna be confident in ones. I'm not gonna be confident in all of them. Don't fade me on the ones I'm confident in. But you might want to stick with these other guys for these more niche bets. Mine are gonna be locks though, the ones I give you. But otherwise, don't bet with me.
Here's what I'll say about my betting. I'm gonna give you the analysis. I'm gonna give you how I feel about it, and if it hits, like I take full credit, 100%. That was all me. Like I'm the greatest ever. But if it loses, you're a fucking idiot for taking it and following me.
That's an interesting strategy.
Also, yeah, what he said.
Yeah, for me, I'm only gonna give a confident pick. So if it hits, you can tweet at me. I'll understand. I deserve the backlash. It's fine. I mean, if it doesn't hit, but
Costa and I are actually partners for the high stakes fantasy league.
Pike high stakes fantasy league. We're winning it
in about an hour. We're drafting
winning it. Yes.
And this should drop afterwards, so we won't be afraid to like give away too much of our insights on players, what we think teams will be doing this year.
Exactly.
Marvin Jones at 150 on Sleeper.
It is pretty nice.
Is a steal.
All right,
steal and a half.
To jump right in.
When he's healthy, he's nasty.
Yeah.
To jump right in, there's a couple specific divisions that I think are super, super interesting betting wise. What we're going to be going over first right now is all of our division winners. We'll have the odds pulled up. I don't have my computer on me.
I got the odds pulled up.
I have already placed just about every single one of the bets that I'm going to be telling you guys.
Me as well.
And they're on my phone. I don't have my phone here, so I'm going to be going mostly from memory. But I think Mo and Costa have theirs pulled up. First division that I want to look at, because I think it's one of the most interesting divisions. It's the NFC North.
Okay.
Tell me
what you're thinking, Costa.
Yeah. I personally think it's a runaway.
You think it's a runaway?
I think the Packers are, and we'll get into this later in our lock bets.
Yeah. Oh.
I think that's a little hint for you.
Not to step on your toes and make you say your lock bet too early. But.
I think the.
So do you have no confidence in the Vikings or what?
Oh, I wouldn't even put the Vikings second. I think if Justin Fields comes in and can play well, I think they're the second best. I think the Bears are the second best team in the division. The Bears have a lot of talent.
First of all, big if.
The Bears have a lot of talent.
First of all, big if.
Fields has been looking good though.
Andy Dalton isn't a scrub either.
Yeah, he's not a scrub.
Sure.
He's not a scrub.
He's a below average quarterback. Pro quarterback.
But he made it to the playoffs with the Bengals before.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that Bengals team was anything special the year he made it. And they were a Vontaze perfect hit away from winning a playoff game against the Steelers.
Yeah. That guy's so dirty.
Right?
I have no hate on the Bears pick. I actually think that this is a super competitive division, and I do think the Bears will be good. I think this will be I think all three of these teams are competing for around 10-7 or so. I don't think it's a runaway by any means.
What?
I don't think it's a runaway by any means.
Oh my god.
No, I don't think it is.
With
I still have the Packers winning the division, but I also think it's going to be closer than, closer than what.
And I think it's clear that So the Vikings upgraded at a bunch of key defensive spots also in the offseason. Like that was their big thing. The offense is good as shit.
Yep, a lot of young talent.
And they upgraded a little bit on the defense. Like I think the Vikings are not a terrible pick, but I think Packers are.
I want everyone to know that as of 3 to 4 months ago,
Ethan Goldberg right here
couldn't have been fading the Vikings any harder.
That's
Their
true.
line to over under wins was like 9, and he was saying he would take the under at 6 because of how bad and how poor their roster construction was.
Yeah, but people.
And now
Yeah.
he's saying that they're as good as the Packers. I just want everyone who have
same-
almost
Yeah,
the same exact team.
I'm not betting the Packers anything, and I do still have the Vikings win under total. But as of now, recommending it, I honestly don't like any bet in this division too hard because I think it's super competitive.
I agree.
And if there's a bet to make on the odds, it'd probably be the Bears.
So the Bears are now sitting to win the division.
But I'm
plus
not betting
550.
in this. I think Packers are going to win, but this is not a hard bet for me.
Yeah.
Or not a super.
Yeah, not a lock.
Yeah, not by any means.
Okay. I'd love to switch it over to the NFC East because that's also very interesting to me.
Coming from an Eagles fan, it will be interesting. Just
very-
not,
I don't think it'll be
just not on the
interesting
part
for
on the Eagles.
Yeah,
not
the Eagles are the only
Eagles
team
can be
not
terrible.
compete. The Eagles.
I don't think the Giants are
truly
competing either.
I think this is a runaway
Oh,
with
I
the
don't.
football team.
with the football team.
Me too. Okay.
I
We're big
think
on the
this
football
is-
team coming up in our fantasy draft. We would take every single player.
Yeah. So I also don't want to give anything away from my best bets, but
as your best bet might be a little too similar to mine.
but I'm liking the skins here as well.
I'm liking the football team.
The football
football
team.
team.
Yeah. Sorry.
I-
To cut it, we need to cut out Moses.
I think not to get too ahead. Here's why this is interesting. Looking at roster construction, the Cowboys are spending the most money in the NFL this season. So one would think that it just is very heavily correlated. If you're spending more money, you are more likely to have a better
In all
roster.
sports.
Last year, the big surprise team, I think everyone would agree, was the Bills. They came out of sort of nowhere. The Bills were spending more money than anyone in the NFL last season. So if you're looking at from a roster perspective, they just had they had good players because they were spending more money than everyone. It's an advantage to spend more money.
Yeah.
And that's why we shouldn't give any money to the Watts people because we hold the money is the power.
Dude, no. That's what I'm saying. We already gave them the money.
Okay, all right.
Okay, we're going off subject here. We're trying to bring it back into the NFC East.
So I think the Cowboys potentially I think that this division is sending two teams to playoffs, and it's the football team and the Cowboys.
I also agree that.
Yeah.
This team just sent. This
Yeah.
division just sent a team that was
I
under
know.
500
I know.
to the
I know.
playoffs last year as a division winner, and you think
I know.
now that two teams are
With
gonna.
a third string quarterback playing
I
in
know.
the playoffs.
Dude, okay, I don't agree with that, but
Well,
I think both the Cowboys and Washington football team are gonna finish. One's gonna finish 10-7. One's gonna finish 9-8. The team that makes it 10. The team that finishes 10-7 is going to make the playoffs, obviously, and the team that finishes 9-8 is not. Which team that's going to be, if I had to make a bet, it would be the football team. However, the Cowboys just had a draft where they drafted 8 defensive players.
Some
8
studs.
defensive players
They got
throughout the
some
draft.
studs.
And they got some studs.
Yep.
Look at that linebacker core of the Cowboys.
I would
I
have
know.
loved for the Eagles to have Michael
orgasmic.
Parsons.
Ugh.
The issue is that both he sat out the 2020 season because of COVID.
Yeah.
But then Leighton Vander Esch couldn't be any more injury prone.
Yeah.
That's the
He's
thing. That's the
great
thing when
on the
looking.
field.
That's the thing when looking at this defense is can they stay healthy? Can Dak Prescott stay healthy?
Yeah.
I would still, like I said, if I had to pick, take the football team. But if the Cowboys defense and they just got Dan Quinn, right?
Yeah.
Coming over
Who
from the
fucking
Falcons,
sucks.
who is one of the best defensive
Dude,
coordinators
he
ever.
fucking sucks, bro. He's terrible.
He
is so
was,
bad.
just for everyone's knowledge, salty Falcons fan. Dan Quinn was the
Objective Falcons fan.
defensive coordinator of the Legion of Boom. They were amazing. And
Dude.
yes, the secondary in the Legion of Boom obviously nowhere near.
go to.
Obviously so much better than the current caliber of the Cowboys secondary. But this guy's still gonna bring in some game plans that's gonna drastically improve the Cowboys defense. And I think that they may not even be a top half defense, but if they're not historically bad like they were last year, they can easily win this
I
division.
think it's a good take from Costa.
I think they're a playoff team. I'm not saying they're not a playoff team, but I think we should also remember that Dan Quinn was he was the defensive coordinator for the Seahawks in the Legion of Boom years.
But he didn't have to. He
didn't do shit.
They
had the Legion of
He
Boom.
can focus
Yeah, they
on
had
it
an
now.
I could have been the defensive coordinator. They had Pete Carroll. They had Richard Sherman. They had the corner is the cover of Madden. The whole defense was the cover of Madden. They didn't need Dan Quinn to do shit. Dan Quinn went to the Falcons. We didn't have any defensive talent, and he got to pick the players for like 4 years. And we had the worst defense fucking ever for so long. I don't trust Dan Quinn. I think that the biggest stumbling block right now for the Cowboys is their coaching. And I like
Mike McCarthy is not good. He hasn't been good since 2012.
Dude, the Cowboys roster, I mean, they're spending the most money. They have a great roster. And I think they're a playoff team. But I think the Washington football team are putting it together super nicely. The draft capital on that defense, dude, is crazy.
Big year for Gibson.
You take a look at the names on that defense.
We're taking Gibson in a
sick.
second, no matter who's there. Unless Eckler's there.
And then they've got great O-line. They've got scary Terry. They have great offensive weapons. They have 2-time Coach of the Year Ron Rivera. How many 2-time Coach of the Years even are there? There's not that many. 2-time Coach of the Year Ron Rivera.
Can I name one?
Survived cancer last year, by the way. Survived cancer.
Does that make him a better coach?
I think that
He played through the adversity.
I think when you make decisions like this, futures. Anytime I make a future, I'm like reading the ESPN headline from the time where it is. You know what I mean? Like, I'm right now. I read the ESPN headline. The little a year ago he was diagnosed with cancer, and today he's in the Super Bowl.
We're going through the mind of Goldberg right now.
This is
terrible headline, terrible take.
I mean, maybe it's not a super well written headline, but the take is there.
The point is, Goldberg's not a writer. He's a better.
He's a betting man.
Write this down.
Take his pick.
Write this down.
Hey, write this down.
Washington football team.
Where's the Goldberg cam?
Let's take a peek at Goldberg cam. Washington football team.
This will be good.
They're gonna win the NFC.
Cut to Costa cam?
They're gonna win the
Cut
NFC.
to Costa cam. Costa cam.
That's cap.
I have nothing to say. Cut back to Goldberg Cam.
The Washington football team will be America's team by the end of the year. They're never going to change the name. That's how good this team's going to be. They're never going to change the name. This team will be the team that makes the Washington football team become America's team. Ryan Fitzpatrick has been bouncing around for years. This is his new home.
30 seconds ago, I said to take everything Goldberg takes, betting-wise.
Yeah.
Don't listen to this.
I would put my life savings on them changing their team name in the next 18 months.
That wasn't even the part I had the problem with. America's team? The Cowboys haven't been good in 30 years. And
What's America's
capital?
What's America's capital?
Yeah, but no one actually likes
Washington,
DC.
bro.
But no one actually likes DC.
What do people like? Football. Boom.
But
in
people
the fucking
don't like
name
DC.
of the team,
People
bro.
do not like DC.
This is
Okay, hey, let's move on.
Awful take. We gotta go. Let's go to the West. I love the West.
Fast forward to the headline.
NFC West?
Goldberg was right.
Yeah, NFC West.
Costa and Mo are crying.
Okay.
You're
Ethan
so
Rich
mad.
now?
He's so mad.
He's
so mad.
pissed off.
He sounds like he's
Let's
getting
shoot
I
you.
love
Hey,
the haters.
You can talk first. NFC West. What are you thinking?
Okay.
NFC West is a sick.
Because I got some stronger opinions.
Now, long time
Sick division.
followers.
Coming from he's a 49ers fan.
I am. Yep.
Okay.
Shall I
So
bring
we already
it? I
know
got
where
the
your
Niners
heart
flag
lies.
right there.
Long time followers of the
first box.
Goldberg locks
Okay.
know my affinity
Since
for the
playing.
roster construction of the Arizona Cardinals.
Okay.
And I also have a lot of respect. I think that Cliff Kingsbury, he's getting clowned on kind of right now. People think he's a fraud coach.
People definitely think he's a fraud coach.
And-
It goes
and it-
Zach Taylor, Cliff Kingsbury.
Well, Zach Taylor is a fraud coach.
That's my point. And that's my point.
People think
It's like-
Cliff Kingsbury is a
it's-
fraud coach.
Yeah.
Yep.
1 and 2.
And I understand where that's coming from. But I think that he still is an offensive genius. And I wouldn't be like percentage-wise, I think Cardinals, I don't think they should be the favorite to win the division. And they wouldn't be like the team that I would pick. But they're currently sitting at like plus 650 to win this division. And the other three are all kind of like, it's like plus 180, plus 200,
Yeah.
the three of them, right, all together. And I think among that three, I think the team that I think is most likely to win is the Rams. But I would put Cardinals at 2.
Really?
And for their odds, the Cardinals are a phenomenal bet. And them over 8.5 wins is a phenomenal bet.
So are you saying like that listeners should just toss half a unit on plus 600 or what?
if
what are we
I'm
thinking?
betting this division,
Yeah.
I am betting the Cardinals.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Just 'cause there's so much
There's
value?
No way.
Now here's my
Yeah.
built-in hedge on this that I also have. A smaller 0.25 unit on Rams first and Cardinals second laid together.
Okay.
Rams winning the division.
That's sitting at about a plus like
The Rams are
850.
winning the
That
division.
Rams first, Cardinals second.
Okay.
Exact. That's sitting at like plus 850. So I
So
threw
you
a
throw
little
a little
personal
bit on
hedge
that.
on that.
Okay.
So if Cardinals get first, I have that plus 650 win, and then I have if Cardinals were to get second, I think if they get second, it's to the Rams.
Interesting.
So I have those two.
Yeah, so when the Cardinals get last in the division, they're gonna lose you all your money. When the Niners sitting at right now plus 185 win the division outright, like they're going to do, all your bets are not gonna be looking good, Goldberg.
Here's what I'm gonna say about the Niners. Trey Lance is a fraud. No, he's not a fraud, but he's not
That is
ready yet.
cap.
No, he's not a fraud, but this is not the year of Trey Lance.
It's
If the Niners win the
Trey
division,
Lance.
it's because Garoppolo plays every game. And I don't like Garoppolo.
No.
Dude, if you've
No.
taken a peep at Lance in the preseason,
Yep.
he looks like someone who's only been a starter
watch
for
every
1
game.
year. He looks like someone who was a 1-year starter in college at North Dakota State. He was started for 1 season.
Yep.
He's not NFL ready.
Trey Lance is this year's Justin Herbert. Heard it here first. Third quarterback taken. Much better than the second guy taken, who was play. Think about the comparisons. Tua was taken because he was playing with the greatest wide receiving core of almost in maybe college history, right?
Don't get me started.
What does
Four
this got
guys-
to do with? Oh, yeah, I'll hear you out.
Because I'm
Don't look at
comparing.
me, look at Costa
I'm comparing. I'm comparing Tua to Zach Wilson here. Zach Wilson is, for one, he's the fraud of this quarterback draft class.
I like that
not,
take. I
Not
like
Trey
that
Lance.
take. I like
Zach
that.
Wilson playing in college. I don't even pay attention in college football. I know he was playing against bums. BYU, correct me if I'm wrong, isn't it a Power 5 team?
They're not a Power 5
They're
team.
not a Power 5 team. BYU is the only team I've heard of in their conference, probably. They are a good team playing against nobodies, and that was found out very quickly when they played Coastal Carolina, who isn't even a big-time school. Zach Wilson, similar to Tua, not going to be that great. The guy taking the next pick after him, much, much better. I know Trey Lance wasn't playing against great competition either, but he's also
That's what makes this take very
he also
confusing for me.
doesn't have the best players that he's playing with.
That is a notch. North Dakota State is like
They
a
win
fucking
every year. They
powerhouse.
win every year. I know they win every year.
This take is confusing to me.
This is a fraud take.
No,
Yeah,
this is
I
not
agree.
fraud take.
I'd rather
Listen
write
to the
off that take.
comparisons.
Here's
Listen
what
to
I
the
think about this
comparisons.
take. I
Third
think it-
quarterback taken off the board, taken right after a guy who was playing with, like, just way above everyone else. Like, he was playing with players who were way above anyone else that they were playing against.
This is a fairy tale take for me.
Okay.
Because you could be right, and I somewhat agree.
But it's the guy with the big arms.
But your
too.
reasoning is absurd.
Trey Lance and Justin Herbert, both guys who can take it on the ground.
Whether or
who
not
have
they're good
huge arms.
has nothing to do with
Huge
the
arms.
person who's taken in front of them.
It
Yeah,
does.
They could have taken
It
anyone in
does.
front
That
of
is
them.
true.
Don't
That is
listen-
saying
don't
that they're
listen
the
to these
same.
two.
Yeah, that's
First
a-
of all,
that's a
the
fact
Zach Wilson and
fallacy.
Tua take is so confusing to me.
The Zach Wilson
Because
Tua
you're-
take, I did just come up on the spot right now.
Because your reasoning
Because-
for Zach
because-
Wilson
because-
being bad was that he played against shitty opponents.
thing
I was
was-
like, Tua's with Alabama. He played good opponents.
No, but he's still
Also,
the best
find
offensive
the
average.
average. Find the average score differential of Alabama's first 6 weeks of the college football season. It's probably 50.
Yeah,
plus 50.
But to say that Tua, okay, first of all, we're so off the rails here right now.
Yeah, we're actually.
And I'm so arguing
fattest tangent I've ever
I'm
seen.
arguing the realities of one of your evidences for
Yeah.
your point that's dog shit.
Yeah, no, it is dog shit.
But just to make
all
sure
I'm
that
saying
everyone
is that Trey
knows,
Lance is going to be good.
I would love to
That's
talk
all
Tua
I'm
with
saying.
Tua-
him, and I will be talking about Tua later
Tua
in this episode.
in this first game ever threw a game-winning touchdown in the national championship. I think he was very tested coming into the NFL.
Okay, fine.
And to say that
Fine.
Zach Wilson wasn't,
Fine.
Okay, we got to bring it back. We got to bring it back.
Well,
to
let's
the
bring it
NFC
back.
West.
Let's
We
bring it
gotta
back
bring
to
back
NFC
the NFC
West,
West.
because I have another point I want to bring up.
Okay.
Rams are going to be the best team in this division.
Okay.
Matthew Stafford has been overlooked for way too long
Right.
playing in Detroit.
He's nasty. Who
He's
overlooks Matthew
so-
Stafford?
Until this last year, you probably never would have said that Matthew Stafford is a top 10 quarterback.
Well, okay.
Matthew Stafford is a top 10 quarterback. He's
Yeah,
finally
I agree.
going to have 2 to 3 targets that he can look
he
to
has weapons
consistently,
now. He has weapons.
right? under one of the
Galladay's
best.
pretty good.
Under one of the best.
Galladay's
Galladay was
nasty.
almost never on the
I
field.
think
But he was disgusting. when he was.
But under one of the best head coaches in the league right now in Sean
I
McVay
100%
with
agree
a
with that.
top 3 defense.
Okay.
He is going to get
Valid.
on and off the field quickly on scoring drives, and they are going to have a lot of opportunities.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that I
I think
very
Rams
much
win this division by 2 games.
I think yeah. I respect that take.
I think
respect that
Ed, this division is sending 2 teams to the playoffs.
3. I would take 3.
They're-
The
teams.
problem is they're going to beat up on each other.
They're-
We
I
haven't
know,
even
they're the
mentioned
Rams
Seahawks,
and the Niners.
who still have Russell Wilson.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
I think
the
this
Niners
team
are going to
says
win the
3.
division. Their defense is disgusting. Their downhill run game, no matter who's a quarterback, it's going to be unreal.
In the 7-team playoff format, this division is getting at least 3 teams into the playoffs.
I think that if there's a team in this division that people are just accepting is going to be good, like I think the Rams very much are. It
Yeah.
is proven that
It's
they
a
are
lock.
going to be good.
Yes.
I think that a team led by Russell Wilson with his weapons, they have like some new offense coming in this year. I don't know all the details, but I know it's like supposed to be more explosive, and their defense can't get any worse than it was last year, and it kind of
Their
like
defense was
tightened up towards the
atrocious.
end.
They also got to get their O-line.
Now,
That's a big
and
issue.
and
Yeah,
That's a big issue.
and you already know my
Russ makes
affinity
up
for the
it.
Cardinals. I think that if there's a team that I'm looking at that is giving me doubts, it's the Niners. And it's a classic. This is a classic example of like a team was this last year, and they're only going to get better now because whatever they have the injuries. All right, like that's like they're going
This
to
was
just
a team that was in the Super Bowl a year and a half
yeah,
ago.
100%.
Yeah,
The
with
Falcons
a
were in the
shitty
Super Bowl.
quarterback, and now
Yeah.
we're bringing in young blood who's going to be good,
Yeah,
and it's going to really help our team.
I think
the
there's
Rams
a big
were also
difference
just in the Super
between.
Bowl.
I also think that there's a big difference between Trey Lance being really good and, like I said, maybe as good as Justin Herbert was last year, but also winning enough games to get you to even 3rd place in this division. They'll be in 3rd place in this
I think
division.
if they're solid, it's because Lance doesn't see the field. I don't think he's going to be anything this year.
Well, you know that they're starting at least the first few weeks. We're literally going to be watching high school football, having them switch off quarters,
Dude,
Wait,
which is
what?
atrocious.
here's a little
First-
saying.
Yes, they're going to be switching off halves or quarters. They
Now,
haven't
this
decided
sounds
yet.
like
But it's literally high school football.
That's awful. I don't think Kyle Shanahan gets away with that for more than 1
So
week.
here's this is two
There's
things
no
to
way
me. This
that-
is
that
one.
they could do
This
that.
is one Shanahan getting a little too cute, which is like
That's fair.
has been seen before as a Falcons fan. But number one, this is I believe it's John Madden who said if you have 2 quarterbacks, you have no quarterbacks. You got to get some. If you have 2 quarterbacks, you have no quarterbacks.
I think
The Niners got no quarterbacks.
when was the last time that a team has ever actually done that, right? I think that what Kyle Shanahan's
It's not
actually
gonna
doing
last. It's just him
is
trying
that
them both out.
at least
in
for the
games.
first, I think for at least the first week, who do they play week 1 though? Do you know who they play week 1?
No, I don't know who they play.
Okay. Well, while Mo looks that up, what?
Lions. Oh, I actually did know that.
Okay.
We're playing
See, now this
terrible Lions.
Now this makes what I'm about to say make a little less sense. But I think if they were playing a division rival or a team that was much better than the Lions, that Kyle Shanahan would be saying this just so that the team doesn't know who to game plan for. And then he'd end up just playing Jimmy G or Trey Lance.
They don't play an
entire game.
NFC West
Seems like
team
a
until
classic
week
letdown
4.
game to me. By the way, I think
Really?
not to look ahead to next week, but I wonder what that spread is on the game. That seems like a classic letdown game for me.
It's gonna be
I don't-
interesting.
Especially with the uncertainty with the quarterback. I feel like that it totally fucks them up. They need confidence, especially because Garoppolo has been kind of getting dogged by like the whole city. Like Garoppolo's going to come in all nervous, and Lance has never even fucking. He also didn't play at all last year. Lance, he was in 2019. He was a starter for the full season. That's the only time, and he wasn't started. Wasn't started the year before. He wasn't started the year after because they didn't play. This is a guy who's had 1 season of North Dakota of playing pretty scrubs of like. You can watch the Lance film. His numbers are insane.
Yeah.
Watch the Lance film. I mean, he's playing
his
against
play
high
style
school
is
players. Yes, but I'm saying like
I mean, it's the best D3. Yeah.
I know, but he's also like he doesn't
Not
seem
D3.
like he hasn't to deal with any adversity.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He doesn't have to deal with any. It's FCS,
FCS,
and he cooks him 100%. He
Yeah.
cooks the shit out of him. but he looks terrible in preseason. He looks so bad.
But I mean, he's also not going to a team like the Lions didn't pick him, right? Where he's gonna be surrounded by literally no one. Like he's gonna have He has 3
Yeah.
really good targets to
He has
throw to.
weapons.
For
They're
sure.
gonna be a heavy run team
Yep.
with a great offensive
We're gonna
line
have
and a
established
great
run.
defense. If anyone, if you could go anywhere as a rookie quarterback and succeed,
Yep.
you want the makeup
I
of
agree.
the Like obviously no one's going
Yeah.
to the Rams, but the Rams, the Niners,
Yeah.
team
Yeah,
with a great
that's fair.
defense, great run game, and some
Yeah.
solid wide receiver targets.
Yeah, I agree. Should we move on?
Yeah, let's move on.
Yeah.
Should we just
Bucs.
finish out the NFC?
Just go ahead. Just
Yeah.
Bucs.
Does anyone have anything
Pass
else
it
for
on.
Bucks?
Pass it on.
I mean,
Saints under 9 wins. I'll just go ahead and say
I think
that.
Okay.
I don't think Jameis plays anything like he did back in 2019. I think he's a lot more conservative.
he's not gonna go for. He's not gonna get
I-
another
I
30
think-
I don't think
I
guys
think he's
around him
gonna
are
be
that
30-30.
good.
I think that's also a record that will never be broken in the history of the NFL.
30-30.
30-30. It's
No,
so
no,
hard.
no team is ever
Yeah,
going to
'cause
allow
you
a quarterback
can't-
to throw 30.
It's a
interceptions
Bruce Arians.
again.
It's some Bruce
Yeah,
Arians.
it is a
shit.
Bruce Arians
No
shit.
team
Yeah.
is ever going to.
No, I don't think Winston's the problem at all. I think he'll be solid, but like they don't have it. They lost a
He
ton of
looked
guys
good
on
in the
defense.
last pre-game.
Yeah, he looked good in a preseason game.
But that obviously has never meant anything.
He's
Just
got
like how
some
Lance
shit
looking
weapons
bad
around
doesn't
him.
mean anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
No,
tough.
Lance. No,
It's
even
tough
more
when
for
Callaway is his wide receiver 1.
No, I think it means
right
a bigger
until Mike
deal
Thomas
to
comes back.
see. I think it means more when it struggles than it does doing well in the preseason.
You can say whatever you want to like back up your points.
No, I know. Okay, fine.
I think if Michael Thomas falls in this draft, we take him.
See, I took Michael Thomas and I was thinking the same way that you're thinking, but like, it's the people there. Like, there's people with similar upside because, like,
If-
Thomas is not going to be playing for most of the season.
But
Yeah.
the thing about
What was
it,
it? For he's,
right,
he's
is
out.
Depends
that
where he
if you're
falls.
taking
He's out
him,
first 8, right?
if you're taking him as
He'll
your
be back week 7
Week 7. Okay.
with no complications.
Yeah,
Could be
yeah.
more complications.
if you're taking him as your 4th wide receiver or the first person on your bench, so like you've taken
That's
two
a
wide
great guy on
receivers
your
and three running backs
Especially
already,
if you have an IR
if he's
spot.
not going to be playing, right? If he's not going to be playing, and we could take Marquez Callaway, whose ADP on Sleeper right now is 177.
Yep.
If we could take him and stash him, there's no reason not to stash Michael Thomas in all your leagues right now because he's going to come back. If Jameis Winston is going to be the starter all season, there's no reason why they would bring in Taysom Hill unless he's playing worse than he did back in 2019, which I don't think has happened. And I think that Michael Thomas is going to be the only guy to look to when he comes back, and Jameis Winston's going to want to sling it to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. This is Bucks.
But it's Bucks.
It's
yeah.
the Bucs
Bucs?
division. It's the Bucs division, but there's just
But give me
they're
Falcons
no fun,
over Saints.
They're no fun to talk about. They're
me
no fun
Falcons
to talk
over-
about.
Give me Falcons over Saints.
Biased.
I mean, yeah.
Unbiasedly,
Obviously, there's bias.
Pro
What
Football,
they do? What did they do?
reference?
What did they do to make their team better from last year?
Falcons.
Other than firing Dan Quinn,
Well, so here's
they
the big
drafted
one right
Kyle
here.
Pitts 4th overall
Here's the big
and
one right
lost Julio.
I
I
think
Kyle Pitts.
this
would
is
be
another
great.
classic.
Yeah, me too.
Like, did they get better or worse from this 4-win number? But it shouldn't be better or worse from the 4-win number. So they're based on their play last year. They were an 8-win team who only won 4 games. They were PFF's best 4-win team in NFL history. Like your Pythagorean expectation, they were the best 4-win team ever because they lost all their games by like 1 or 2. Like they all had
And
insane win
they
percentages.
blew like 2 or 3.
And as much as it's like they should understand, like there is some element of like they lost those games because they lost them.
Yeah.
But like to put them as they were not a 4-win team last year, and I think they got better
They won-
from their
they won
8-win
4 games.
expectation. Yeah, they won 4 games, but they should have won 8.
I got you.
How?
I think there's
I
an
don't
argument
know-
to be made.
I don't
Falcons
know.
over
I don't.
Saints.
I don't
There's
know. I
definitely
don't
an
know
argument.
about. I don't know about enough about what the Falcons have done this offseason.
Arthur Smith.
Sure, Arthur Smith, offensive coordinator coming over from the Titans who just run the ball, and now you have a 28-year-old Mike Davis.
Yeah.
It's not really the same thing
He
as
doesn't
Derrick
just
Henry.
run the ball.
Not really the same thing as Derrick Henry.
He throws the
But-
play action. He knows
but-
the statistics that say play action is the best play in football.
But Derrick Henry is a much scarier guy coming downhill than Mike Davis.
That's true.
I just want to know
Even as a Mike
the
Davis
only
fan,
the
yes.
only change I can think of right now. There's 2. Mike Davis, like we just mentioned, and exchanging Pitts for Julio. What else did they make their defense any better? Because it wasn't good last year.
Well, they got it's a year older AJ Terrell. Like our defense is so young, so everyone's a year older. We brought back all of our good guys, Grady Jarrett, Deion Jones. We got some holes for sure. We got some holes, but I think the Saints have even more holes. We're not going to win the division.
That's gonna be an interesting battle for second.
And we're not going to make the playoffs either. But I don't think it's
second,
gonna
and
be
counting out the Panthers.
Yeah.
What happens if the Panthers trade for Deshaun Watson?
I'm counting out.
Plus, I have plus
Panthers have a good
4,000. I have $10 at plus 4,000. The Panthers the worst team in football.
I think that they're not a good team.
There is basically no evidence. The amount of people that are just writing off Darnold being so bad, it was Adam Gase. Darnold was the worst quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah, he was
by
horrible.
basically any metric.
I don't think he's going to be that great. I think he could be at best, like,
Well, he was the worst
fringe
quarterback
top
in the
10.
NFL.
At
The
best,
worst quarterback in the NFL.
I understand. At the best at any point in his career, not this year. Like, at the best at any point in his career, fringe top 10 quarterback. The worst team in the NFL, they have a really good defense. They have Jeremy Chin. They're going to have CMC, who they didn't have all last year. They have Robbie Anderson and DJ Moore coming back.
I would not say they have a really good defense. I would say they have a young defense that might get a little better, but they were the 32nd run defense from majority of last year. I don't know what they ended at, but they were the worst run defense for most of the year.
So the Falcons get better because they get 1 year older, but the Panthers don't?
No, they get better for sure. I don't
Logic's
think the
all over
Falcons
the
aren't going to be
place.
that good. But the Panthers, there's no evidence for a quarterback as bad as Sam Darnold getting better. Like, he was the worst quarterback in the NFL for like several years. I think the only reason he even has a job is because of Adam Gase. Because people are like, Adam Gase is so bad, it's not his fault. But he was so terrible, like atrocious.
They were both really bad.
And also, I don't think they're the worst team in football. But I think it's a good bet at plus 4,000.
A lot of value.
4,000.
A lot of value.
Plus 4,000. Not a bad bet.
Okay,
What is that, 10 to win 400?
Yeah, it's pretty
Where do
good.
you want to go?
Good
in
bet,
the,
guys. Take that bet.
Where do we want to go in the AFC here?
Start with the... Ooh.
I think we
I think-
start with the South.
I'm looking at the South right now. I think the South is very interesting.
South is so interesting.
It's one of my favorite bets because there's a lot of value. Titans minus 110 to win the division, a lot of value for me. I really like the Titans.
I don't
Fade
like
Mo.
I don't like the
Go with the
Titans.
Colts.
I
I
like
don't know
the
what
Colts.
I don't know what their line is. Carson Wentz is going to be, if not 2017 form, 2019 form. He's going to be really
Colts at plus 150 is just not that much value for me.
Well, truth be told, I got drunk and I bet $250 on the Jaguars to win the division. That's a real thing that happened.
So
So
This
can we-
is new information.
can we actually fade Goldberg?
Fade
so
Goldberg.
so
Don't fake the Jaguars.
I would not bet that if I were you. I wouldn't. No. Okay, I wouldn't put $250 on it. 100%.
That's 2.5 units, people.
The Titans. The defense is just terrible. Defense is so bad. Like, should be bottom 5, bottom 3 defense in the entire NFL. Lowest in spending in the defense in the entire NFL. Don't have many young studs. They've had their first round picks like the past 3 years of all. Some of them are like off the team. Like, they've had players kicked off the team. So they don't have a ton of young players. They're not spending a lot of money on offense or defense, but they're lowest in defense. And then now their quarterback has COVID. So for another 8 days leading up to the season, Tannehill's not practicing with the team at all.
I mean,
As if that
the
matters.
Colts,
Tannehill
their
doesn't
best
do anything
offensive
special
lineman
anyway.
and their quarterback are both out right now.
But they might play week. I know. I also.
Quinn Nelson's not playing week 1.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna play week 1.
I think there's a good chance Wentz can play week 1, but
Wentz is going to play week 1.
Quentin
Which is
Nelson,
crazy.
who's the best offensive lineman in football.
Well, he's a guard also, so it's not as important as a tackle. But he's a guard.
He's the best.
But
He's the best lineman
yeah.
in football. He's not playing. I don't really trust Frank Reich's system that much.
What
Why
have you
not?
seen?
Yeah.
What have you seen to say not? He won a Super Bowl in his second year as an offensive coordinator, calling the plays, and then just had
I don't
Philip
trust
Rivers.
Wentz.
Philip
Dude,
Rivers in
dude, I
his
hate
last
Wentz.
ever season with a
T-Rex
first year
Phillip
Michael
Rivers.
with a
Going
first
like
year
this.
with a first year
Costa
Michael
can.
Pittman. First year Michael Pittman.
An aging T.Y. Hilton. I couldn't even name their third wide receiver. They had Mo Alley Cox, who I don't even know if is in the NFL anymore right now. Right?
He's still
They had a good offensive line, obviously, and 2 really good running backs in Jonathan Taylor and Naeem
Stud
Hines.
running backs. Who
What about
Frank Reich's system with Philip Rivers and that receiving core.
I
Phillip
really
Rivers knows
dislike
the
Carson
football.
Wentz. I really dislike Carson Wentz.
Why? Dude,
Carson
also big thing
Wentz
about
is going to
Frank
be
Reich,
so good. He's going to be so
So good.
he's gonna be
when
so good.
Frank Reich
He's
left,
going to be a
the
top 10
Eagles
quarterback.
they tanked
Oh,
as
that
soon as
they
he left.
tank.
That's
They
terrible.
did.
As soon as
Top
he
10
left, they tanked.
quarterback
Yeah.
is terrible.
Carson Wentz,
That's
maybe not.
atrocious.
He'll be top 15.
I don't know about top 10.
He'll be top 15.
He's not going to be a top
I think
half.
Fitzpatrick's going to be top 10.
Me
though.
too.
In terms of what?
Fucking anything. Sexiness.
I mean, that's
Fantasy?
a given. That's a given.
Fantasy.
That beard. ooh.
100%. Fantasy.
Top 10 in fantasy?
Nah, not fantasy. Just because the defense is going to be so good. But top 10, like QB rating, like PFF rating.
So you guys both have Colts here?
So I have Colts, but I also have $250 for the Jaguars. So
You got to consider that.
consider that I did that. Also, everything I say should be in the frame that I did that.
Yeah.
And-
Were you blacked, or what was the state of you?
I wasn't drunk on alcohol. I was drunk on like excitement over the Jaguars. I was just watching a lot of Trevor Lawrence film, and I was thinking about Urban Meyer, and I was like, Urban Meyer.
This is pre-ETN, I'm assuming?
Yeah, this is pre-ETN, but I don't think that doesn't change anything.
Taking James Robinson in the 5th all day, by the way.
Oh, 100%.
I have a James Robinson.
Well, they're winning the
bet.
division, so the running back should be pretty good. They're number 1 in the NFL in O-line spending, the Jaguars. Okay.
How is that possible?
They will go over their win total of 6. Like, that's what I should have put $250 on. Is their
Yeah.
win total over 6. But
Is it not 6.5?
Just so you know,
it's 6?
it's I got it at plus. This is also why I put so much on it. I was like, it's plus 850. It's plus 650 everywhere else. On the book that I'm on, it was plus 850. Someone do some quick math. What's 250 times 8.5?
Oh, you're going to do the math? Yeah, you're going to do the math, right?
2,100.
2,000.
No, 8.5.
You're right.
So 2,100.
25, yeah.
All right, so don't think about the 250. Think about the 2,125. I could so see. I was like, Andrew Luck came in, turned a 1-win team. He won the division his first year. You get to play an easier schedule when you're the 4 seed in the division because you play
That's
other
very
4
true.
seeds.
And that's
that
part of the
matters.
reason why I picked some of the teams I picked.
Yeah.
I also, and that actually does change things in the Niners a little bit for me now that I thought about it. But also, when I made this bet, I thought Wentz was gonna be out for 12 weeks, and I was like, the Titans' defense sucks, and I lost Arthur Smith, and the Colts are gonna be bad because their quarterback's gonna be out for 12 weeks, but now he's gonna be out for 0 weeks. So
At most 1 or 2.
I wouldn't take Jaguars for $250, but I would throw on them small, and if I'm picking a team, it's the Colts.
I like to put something out about the Colts.
Titans win under also. Titans win under.
Like, from those weeks when, like, they have a banged-up best lineman and quarterback, the 5 teams they play are the Seahawks, Rams, Titans, Dolphins, and Ravens.
So all losses.
They went a combined 54-26 last season, those 5 teams. So they have a tough start to the season with people
Colts?
out. Yeah, the Colts. I just don't – I think they're going to start poorly, and when their quarterback – when everybody comes back –
Titans. I thought this was Titans.
No, the Colts.
Wait, tell me those teams. Wait, give me the
Seahawks, Rams,
Rams is a loss.
Titans,
Seahawks is a win.
Dolphins, and Ravens.
Titans is a
Titans
win.
is
Dolphins
a
is
toss-up.
win.
Just
Hey,
'cause it's
combined,
a
they
baseball
went
mashup.
basically. Hey, combined
They
those
could go
those
three
teams.
and two.
Last year,
Those
teams
last
were
year.
2.
had a .66 win percentage last year.
But if you go
combined.
3
That's
and 2
last
in those
year.
first 5 weeks, if you go 3 and 2 in those first 5 weeks, you're set up to.
I don't
to
think they're going to go
potentially-
3 and 2 in those first 5 weeks.
Why not?
I think they could go 2 and 3 and still win the division though.
Yeah, that's possible.
And also,
but I
let's
think
say they
will
go 0 and 5. The Jaguars starts creeping up. Now I got hedging opportunity. I'm fine. I don't have to worry about it.
There you go.
I maxed out my whole balance on the book on just the Jaguars, so
You're-
I can't even bet anymore on that.
This guy's a psychopath. If you haven't figured it out.
Dude,
Fade Goldberg.
I was looking at the ESPN headlines for in 5 months, and one of them was like,
Oh my gosh.
All right. Let's move. Let's
Yeah,
move
let's
on to the
fucking move
north.
on.
Let's
Urban
move on to the
Meyer
north because
shows
this is
I
a
agree.
this is a division that had 3 playoff teams last year, and now have another season of this young Bengals team.
Yep.
I personally, this might be the boring bet. I think that the Browns' system and their roster construction is just too talented
love the bet.
to lose this division. And I don't know what the lines are. I'm not too big on the
Browns are plus 150.
the
So
divisional lines. Is that the best or the worst
no,
odds?
so the
in
Ravens are the favorite at plus 115.
But I've also
The Ravens
seen,
are the favorite. I would 100% take the Browns.
I've seen.
I think
yeah.
that the Ravens, especially now that J.K. Dobbins is out, I think it's gonna be. I don't know. I don't think that they're gonna be as dynamic.
Dude, Gus Edwards is nasty.
I've
so.
seen them as co-favorites on certain books.
Yeah. No, it
At
depends
like
on
plus
the book.
130,
For
both
sure.
of them. It depends on the book. I think this is a runaway for the Browns. I think
I think the
Not
Steelers
to-
get worse.
look ahead. I think
Yeah,
the
don't look
Browns-
at it. Don't look ahead. Let's get to it when we get to it.
Let's look the opposite of ahead.
Let's think the opposite of ahead. I think I'll be the contrarian here and go with the Ravens. It's gonna be really close. The Browns team is really talented. There's just so much talent on that roster. But I think Lamar's
Ravens do have a great secondary. I always forget.
And Lamar's gonna have a bounce back year. He's
Lamar Jackson
so athletic.
And that offense is so polarizing that you forget about how good their defense is. But at the same time, you have to think back to the first half of their season last year, and people thought that they were going to be an under 500 team because of how like you think that they're so dynamic because of what Lamar Jackson can do with his legs. But it actually made them so one-dimensional that like it seemed every single play they were going to run, and they had no passing game, right? Like they were so desperate for a wide receiver to do anything, and they could never find that.
Yeah.
And if teams they don't change up their scheme at all this year, I know they have Rashad Bateman. A lot of people are high on him. I think he's going to be a good receiver, and that could open things up for Hollywood Brown and Mark Andrews, but. If defensive coordinators, have another year to look at Lamar Jackson and say, okay, we just put a quarterback contain on, it'll be tough for them to win games.
So it's not just a quarterback contain. I know people say this whole like Lamar, like the coaches can figure him out specifically. So first playoff game of Lamar's career, he plays the Chargers. Or I don't know if this is the first year or the second year, but either way, he plays the Chargers in the playoff game, and the Chargers run 7 defensive backs on the field. They have 4 D linemen and 7 defensive backs. They have no linebackers on the field. And this is to deal with the speed of Lamar Jackson. So then they don't even have to worry about any sort of power running because they didn't have a power runner really on that team. The response to that, the Ravens go out and get Mark Ingram, like more of a power runner. And then if the team's good 7 defensive backs, they pound Mark Ingram up the middle. And that's how, without Mark Ingram, Lamar doesn't have his MVP year because otherwise they'd go straight to 7 defensive backs. In games where Mark Ingram was hurt, they go back to 7 defensive backs because they don't have a power back. And when they were doing that, like the Chargers, he was getting kind of contained because you have a ton of speed on the field. You can at least like slow him down. Lamar's not a powerful guy. He's winning with speed.
So you're worried about their lack of running back depth this year, or what?
I don't really see a power back on this team anymore. Gus Edwards is not really like he's more powerful than I guess Dobbins, but he's not like how Mark Ingram is like.
Yeah.
Well, like I don't see a running back that's just pounding, that makes you say I can't play 7 defensive backs.
Yeah, sure.
And actually, going back to the South, we just completely skipped over the Texans. Like, not a single mention of the Texans
That's
and
okay
everything that's going on with Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
Can someone explain why they signed 8 running backs this year? This off season? Like, what are they doing? They have Phillip Lindsay, a guy who really hasn't done much.
That running back room is
since being that good of a undrafted rookie. They signed Mark Ingram, how Goldberg just said, power back, kind of in the later years of his NFL career probably.
Yeah.
They already had David Johnson. I think they lost Duke Johnson,
Let me do a check.
but they already had David Johnson.
So
I think we covered the AFC South and the AFC North.
Now we got
Unless you had anything
AFC
else to
East
say about the Ravens.
Oh no, we still have AFC East and West.
East and West, yeah. Where do I go? Let's go East.
East is interesting. I think it will be the Bills. I think that they have a really good roster, and Josh Allen could get even better. But if Tua plays like how they drafted him, they could be good.
Are you a Tua hater?
Oh my God!
I don't necessarily think they will be. I'm just saying if he got drafted number 5
I gotta
overall.
wait for my Tua hate for a future bet that I will let you.
You know what was really interesting to me was the reports
Tua's so bad at
that
football.
people in the locker room wanted to get rid of him, and that they wanted to go for Deshaun Watson.
If they trade for Deshaun Watson,
which is crazy.
That team will be very good.
They just got him though. They just got Tua.
But he's not good. He's not a good quarterback.
he couldn't even finish games last year.
Yeah.
They had to bring in Ryan Fitzpatrick, who's
But he was it's so crazy to me that
you were the one who said before, his first moment ever was throwing a game-winning touchdown pass. He made for the moment. He can't finish.
I'm excited to talk about Tua in our best.
No. I'm sick of this shit, man.
I was talking about Zach Wilson was not Tua.
Okay, but is anyone arguing that the Dolphins are going to win this division?
No, I think the Dolphins are going to go under. They had crazy.
Really?
No,
Does
under,
that change?
Win total under.
That obviously changes.
I love it.
I agree.
I love it.
but it's not because of Tua. Like I don't like hate Tua.
Yeah.
What is it?
I think he's like whatever. He's an average whatever. Oh, it's that they're being judged based off the fact that they led the league in turnovers last year by a lot.
Oh yeah,
and they had a ton of
Xavier
defensive
Howard's not gonna have
touchdowns.
11 picks.
And those are not sticky turnovers. They're not like and turnovers. There's a lot of luck involved in turnovers, and they change a lot from year to year.
This is why Xavier Howard's not gonna have 11 picks.
Oh,
How many picks? How many picks does
No,
Jalen
it's because
Ramsey
he got
have?
thrown to
a
so
year?
much. Xavier Howard.
Yeah.
That's my
Because
point.
they'll be scared.
They're not going to
Yeah.
throw to him this year, and you know that does make the defense better. But they're not going to be a man-to-man every time. They're going to play zone.
Also,
and
he had like an absurd percentage of his picks were like tipped. Also,
Yeah.
like
it's just not going to happen.
that's all shit.
I agree.
And I don't know if I believe in Tua. Like we'll
Touchdown
see.
regression is a thing, and I'm sure interception regression is a thing.
If we're consensus with AFC East, should we move on to AFC West? Well, we're
We
all
didn't even mention the Jets.
Well, no, we haven't mentioned the team that's going to win the division. The New
Oh,
England Patriots.
I didn't even know that was your. Is that?
Wow.
No, I actually don't think they're going to win the division. I think they're going to compete for it, but I think it's the Bills division.
Who?
Yeah, it's the Bills.
It's the Bills division. The Bill, yeah.
Do you
I
think
Bills
the Patriots end up playing better with
I think the Patriots are
with
the two in
Mac
that
Jones
division.
or with Cam Newton?
Dude, I really wasn't like a huge Mac Jones believer, but he looks good as shit. He looks so fucking good.
He looks like the guy.
He looks so fucking good. And I also think Cam's not bad. Like I also think that their O-line is amazing, which is very good for a rookie quarterback.
Yep.
They've got a great run game. The defense is going to be elite.
Yeah.
They're bringing back like 3 great players who didn't play because they opted out for COVID, and they brought in people. They brought in. I like the cheap offensive weapons, and then a great O line.
Nelson
it's
Aguilar
very
is the worst receiver to ever touch in NFL football.
And also like, did we forget like that Bill Belichick is like the greatest coach in all of sports history?
No, I think Tom Brady
Not
got
all
that wrong.
sports, but
I mean, Tom Brady and Bill Belichick can both be very, very. I mean, they
Yeah.
can both be the greatest at their respective positions.
It's a bad bet.
I don't like the Patriots this year, but I understand why. I'm going to talk about why
I like
don't
Damon
Mac.
Harris.
Yeah, good
I like
AD,
Damon Harris.
good value at his ADP.
Good value.
Doesn't catch passes,
True.
but
Yeah.
it's fine.
It's fine. He'll get
It's
touchdowns.
baked into the
Jets-
ADP.
He'll get touchdowns.
Jets, I'm not going to even really
Whoa,
talk
whoa,
about.
whoa, whoa,
The Jets-
whoa.
I think
Whoa, whoa,
Robert
whoa.
Saleh makes he makes that defense marginally better. I don't think that they're going to be.
No, I don't
obviously that
I don't
good,
like
but-
taking defensive coordinators to be head coaches.
Really?
Like almost as a blanket, I just never like it.
That's just
It's an interesting take.
That's
There-
just a Dan Quinn
There's a lot.
take.
There is a lot.
It's
No,
a
no,
Dan Quinn
it's
take.
not just Dan Quinn.
It's a Dan
There's a
Quinn
lot
take.
less creative. Like there are certain areas where it works. There's a lot less creativity involved in defense. There are teams, and Dan Quinn's one. This is right. It didn't make a lot of sense. How he was getting credit. The defense that Dan Quinn runs, he runs basically cover 3 every play. So there's not a lot
It's
of
great
creativity
defense.
involved.
It's a great. It works
No,
in
but,
Madden.
like,
It works in
You
Madden.
can play like it's up to the players.
It
a
works
lot.
in Madden.
It's very like there's so much more creativity involved in coaching offense than there is like there's more premium on an offensive mind than there is a defensive mind.
But
The Jets
you know,
aren't gonna
at the
be
same
good
time,
anyway.
sometimes teams put too much into that idea. Because now
True,
you have
like
guys
Zach
like
Taylor.
Zach Taylor who have
But
a
Zach
job.
Taylor's also like
Yeah.
11 years old. Like he could become a good coach. I don't know. He's also like
Yeah, when he hits
there's
puberty,
lots of
he could be really
anecdotally
good.
yes, but anecdotally you also have McVay. Anecdotally you also have
Yeah.
Well,
fucking
he's the one who worked, and that's why his teams.
They're always
it's
outliers.
copycat league.
All right.
They're
Last
always
division.
outliers.
Last division, we have the AFC West.
Yeah.
Chiefs, Chargers, Raiders,
Broncos.
Broncos.
I'm not getting cute here.
I feel the same way. I think you have to take.
I
the
really
Chiefs.
like the Chargers too, but
Unlike
You
me
can't
normally,
take
I'm
the-
not getting cute here. But
You can't. This kid's so hot. You can't take the Chargers yet.
no, you
The
can't.
Chiefs are still that team.
Too dominant,
Everyone
yeah.
knows they're that team. There have been no signs to think that anyone on that team's gonna get worse. They just traded for a Pro Bowl left tackle, and
Their team is really good.
Orlando Brown, right? Like
They're
they're
the
gonna be
worst line
better.
ever.
They could be better. What's their over under on wins?
wait, which team? Sorry,
The Chiefs.
it's like something high. It's like 12.5.
That's high.
But you know the worst
It's
line
12
ever.
and a half, yeah.
Chargers favored by 1 against Washington football team week 1. That is the worst line.
And we'll get into that.
Washington football team should be
in our
favored
week
by
one
7.5.
preview. We'll get into that
That's
in our week
crazy.
1 preview.
That's crazy to me.
No, that's next episode.
That's crazy to me. Yeah, we'll get into that.
We'll get into that. I agree. I don't think you can really pick anyone with the Chiefs. Even at minus 275, there's still so much value there. Like, they're so fucking good.
Yeah.
It's hard to even describe how
They
good
finished
they are.
probably, 5-6 games better than anyone else in this division
I
last
think
year. I don't think anyone's able to
The
close it.
Broncos' defense is going to be elite.
And Herbert's is pushing
Different
on
team.
elite.
I think the Broncos are
Did I
2 in this
say-
division.
sorry,
by the
I
way.
thought you. What'd you say?
I think Broncos are the second best team in this division. I think and
you
I
said
think Chargers
Broncos
are
defense?
closer to 4th than anything else.
That's what?
Just not a believer.
Okay. We'll get. Hey, I have a lot of things to refute with you when we get into the best bets.
Okay.
Multiple topics.
All right. Now that we've finished the division winners, we can get into our Super
the first
Bowl
one.
matchups.
No, that's respectable.
Okay. Oh, you want to go Super
Are you
Bowl
guys looking
matchup
at
before we
porn?
do bets?
Oh, that's good porn right there.
That's some quality stuff.
You want to do Super Bowl matchup before we do best bets?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Who wants to start?
Goldberg.
Super Bowl
Because I'm
best
gonna
bets.
fade the.
Just so you know,
fuck
I'm
out
gonna
of
I'm gonna edit it so I'm last, no matter what.
Okay, then I'll just go.
Alright.
Because people are going to hate mine anyway. I'm picking the Chiefs to win. Very, middle of the... Whatever, exactly. Annoying. Plus 475. Or 485. Really lame. But the thing that you guys are going to like even less is that I have them beating the Niners. in the Super Bowl.
Oh my god.
And I think that you guys don't
Oh my
understand
God.
how good our
Eagles,
offense
Chiefs,
is going to be.
Eagles, Chiefs.
You don't understand how good our offense is
But
going
the
to be.
Falcons,
It's going to click by the end of the year.
Eagles are
going to the
Our
Super Bowl,
defense is
guys.
obviously elite.
Falcons and natty, bro.
And our downhill run game is just going to be unstoppable no matter who's playing quarterback. But when Lance starts clicking at the end of the year, it's going to be over for the boys.
Now announcing your Super Bowl MVP, Kyle Pitts.
All right. I similarly to Mo. It's so hard to pick against the Chiefs. I don't know how I'm supposed to pick against the Chiefs. I, right before the show, changed my NFC pick. I had one team, and I'm not going to say that team yet because
Why
it's
not?
part of my best bets.
Okay, that's why.
That makes sense.
I'm going to, but I changed it. I still believe in that team. I didn't
I think
change
I know
that
who
bet
he's gonna say.
specifically. I am now taking the Rams to win the NFC.
Respectable.
Okay.
And like I said before, super high on Matt Stafford. I think they have great weapons.
Respectable.
And I think if it wasn't the best defense in the NFL last year, could be this year.
I think
So
it was
we-
last year. It's
they
not
have-
this year. But
They
I think
have
it was
the
last
best
year.
corner. They have the best
Their top heavy
player. They have
Yeah,
the
they're-
best
they're
player
very
in the
top
Who's the
heavy.
NFL.
third best though? Defender on that team.
I think their
They're
number
top
two
heavy,
corner is
sure.
also very respectable. He's also very.
It's interesting Costa and I each picked an NFC West team, but different ones.
I did not pick an NFC West team, but I thought about it, and it would have been a whole different one than you.
You
It would have
take
been the Cardinals. It would have been the Cardinals.
The
But I don't
Cardinals
think-
went 8-8 last year.
Yeah, but they also in the last game.
Did they finish fourth in that division?
No, the Niners did.
The Niners did.
Oh, right. Okay.
Which
I was
is
gonna
why
say,
we're
if
having
the
a nice
Cardinals
look.
finish-
we got
If the
easiest
Cardinals
schedule
finished
in-
fourth in that division, I would have taken them to win 12 plus games.
Depending on
Because
the
of how bad the teams that they would play
Yeah,
were.
depending on the rankings,
Third-
we have
third
either
teams.
the easiest or second easiest schedule, the Niners, in
Yeah.
the NFL this year.
So wait, so you have Chiefs winning Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Who do you have winning?
He
You
also
have
has
Chiefs
Chiefs.
winning Super Bowl.
Yeah, we're both pretty lame.
All right.
I
thought
haven't
you
thought
did.
about who's won, but if I
Mhm.
had to pick right now, yeah, I'd say the Chiefs.
Okay, well, what's
Oh,
your matchup?
All right. NFC. I don't know if you guys believe in
Draft was
magic.
changed to 10-15.
I don't know if you guys believe in magic.
If he says the Vikings.
No.
He's gonna
The
say
football
the,
team?
he's gonna say the Skins.
Oh my God! He told us before.
I
He
did
said
tell you
this
before.
before. He said the
This was my
ESPN
pick.
title. Ron Rivera coming back from cancer.
He freaking told us at the beginning. It all comes back.
Now, I'm gonna be. I can already picture the
God,
edited
what an
video
awful
that I
pick.
make.
What an
Of, it's
awful
like
pick.
it's gonna be us. Before the Super Bowl, like, who do you think's gonna? What's your best Super Bowl bet? And then we're gonna montage back to you right now.
It's gonna be Skins
We're gonna
highlights all
montage
year.
back.
Ron
Ethan
Rivera
Goldberg
going
in the
nuts on the
future.
sideline.
Ethan Goldberg in the future. Please, I want you to montage this in our Super Bowl episode, whether you're right or you're wrong, because it's gonna be so much funnier when you're wrong. It's gonna be so much fun.
The thing is, when they lose first round of the playoffs, he's gonna delete this footage. This entire podcast gone.
Logan Thomas finishes as tight end 3. Curtis Samuel makes a top
Curtis Samuel's
36 wide receiver.
Curtis Samuel's
Okay.
Terry McLaurin, top 5
He's
wide
disgusting.
receiver.
Oh.
Antonio Gibson,
top
top
five.
5 running back. Defense finishes as the number 1 defense. Jamin Davis finishes Defensive Rookie of the Year. Ron Rivera, Coach of the Year. Football teams in the Super Bowl. They never changed the name anymore. They don't change the name, because why would you want to change it? You're so good now. Come on.
America's team. America's
team. Where's the capital of America? It's in Washington.
No one gives a
It's in
shit about
Washington.
DC. Okay, so who
Who they match up against?
Who they match up against?
Well, who's a team that I think is going to take a step forward this year? They were a playoff team last year. People had doubts on the playoffs last year. The defense is amazing. Coach won. I like former Coach of the Years. I like great O-lines. I like solid run games. I like young quarterbacks. And they got great weapons. It's a Baker Mayfield Super Bowl.
Wow.
And they win that bitch.
And they win.
I woke up feeling dangerous. And they win that bitch.
You were so hype about the football team.
I
and
know,
you
I
had
know.
them winning. Oh my God! Can we talk about what he said? By the way, we just skipped all over it. Terry McLaurin, a top 5 wide receiver. Awful take.
I think in terms of
He's
talent,
so talented.
he's already there.
He's so talented.
He's already there. He's not okay.
He's the
already
third best
there.
receiver in his draft class.
No, he's number 1.
Was he not DK's year?
Well, he's miles ahead of DK.
DK and AJ Brown?
He's not ahead of AJ Brown. He's not ahead of AJ. It's AJ Brown over him. But
AJ Brown's disgusting.
He's ahead of DK. But AJ Brown is disgusting.
Okay, now let's talk about all the players that is going to be better than him. Devontae Adams still better.
Okay,
than him. Tyreek Hill's still better than him. DeAndre Hopkins still better than him. I think you
DK
can make
is
the
still better
argument
than him.
for Julio to be
Yeah,
better than him. I think you can make the argument for Keenan Allen.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
he's gonna be
here's the
Keenan Allen's
number
going to have a breakout year.
Keenan Allen will be the
Well, he
fifth
can't
best
break
wide
out. He's like
receiver.
broken out.
No,
Okay, now
but
here's
he's going to have the best year of his
I
career.
think Robert
Best year of his
Woods
career.
finishes better than Terry McLaurin.
Well, no. So here's what you're doing. Well, that's ridiculous. But first of all, here's what you're doing. You're trying to reverse the him top 5 argument by listing wide receivers that you think are going to be better than him. Which
Yes, that is
but
normally
my-
how it works.
My point is not about the existence of other receivers that are top 5 worthy. I'm saying at the end of the year, forget what everyone else does. I don't know. I'm not predicting what everyone else will do. You'll be like, yeah, I'm not going to think about it exactly numbers-wise, but he's for sure top 5. He'll have moments where you're like, he'll have games where you're like, that's the best wide receiver in football. And he won't actually be, like, there'll be receivers that are better, but I'm saying you'll be thinking about him as an elite, like,
Okay.
You'll be watching him for moments. I don't know how many primetime games they have. You'll be watching. People will be like, holy shit, this is the best wide receiver in football. And fucking Fitzmagic, he's got experience out his ass. This was a this was a great roster last year. Only gets better on defense. Only gets better on offense.
That's true.
You throw in Fitzmagic. And you throw in Antonio Gibson. Antonio Gibson up the middle, cuts it up the sideline. Bucs lose in OT. The rematch from the playoffs last year. Ron Rivera's going to the Super Bowl? Come on. And then he dies of cancer the night before. And we have to play for him.
And we have to edit that out.
Lose.
And now we have to edit that out.
And then Baker Mayfield's on the midfield at the Super Bowl. And he goes, fuck Ron Rivera. I hope he's still dead.
And the timeline just melts.
And then
And then Ron Rivera actually comes out after the game. But
And the whole time
he goes, I was alive
But
the whole
Baker Mayfield
time,
actually
bitches."
still did this. And now Baker Mayfield gets thrown out of the NFL after winning a Super Bowl.
Wow.
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 What a season.
Good to know.
What a season, guys. All right, that's going to wrap it up for our final season of
Now we've got some.
No, now we've got
now
our-
we got our bets.
No, it's going to wrap it up like that was the season.
Yeah, that was
It's
the
over.
season. Oh, yeah.
The Browns just won the Super Bowl.
The Browns just won.
And
I'm
Ron
Yes, you were.
Rivera went full Jesus, died, came back,
Dude,
but they still lost.
They still lost.
Even with resurrected
Unfortunate.
Rivera.
Unfortunate.
what's
All
the
right.
headline for that Super Bowl?
Best
Those are-
bets.
That's best. Okay, we're gonna make sure
Best
he
bets.
stops talking.
Wouldn't it be crazy though?
No.
Okay, best bet.
Best bets.
Best bets and any sort of props,
Best bets.
futures that you have
Yeah.
that you
All
want
right,
to
Yeah,
first thing
yeah.
I want to say, coming from an Eagles fan, Jalen Hurts under 3,650 passing yards.
Okay.
Under.
Mhm.
It's not gonna happen. That's thinking they even play 17 games. I don't think he's gonna play 17 games. He's either gonna get hurt from running. He's either gonna get hurt from running, or he's gonna get subbed out somehow for Joe Flacco or now Gardner Minshew.
So that's the
Right?
name that I was.
That's what I'm saying. 3,600 passing yards is 211 passing yards per game. If you look at his stats from last year, he played against a good defense in the Saints, 170 passing yards. He played against the worst defense ever in the Cowboys, only 350 about. That's a good amount over 210. But he only plays the Cowboys 2 times a year. The other 2 teams in that division have really good defenses, and the Giants and the Redskins, football team.
Skins.
I think he could have, just over 3,000 passing yards and maybe 1,000 rushing yards, but he's not going to have. He'll have over 4,000 total yards. He's not going to have over 3,600 passing yards.
Okay,
I think it's an amazing.
That's
bet.
one of my.
I think that's a great
bet. Not even my lock, by the way.
Yeah.
That's a bet. So take that bet and take my lock in a second. But
Okay, so I'm going to add on because one of my bets is also Jalen Hurts bet. So I have Jalen Hurts over 700 rushing yards. So that's 41 rushing yards a game.
Whoa, that's a value bet. Again, though.
I checked his quote. You just said he could have 1,000 yards.
Well, it's not 41 yards a game because he's only going to be starting about 6 games this season.
No.
Yeah,
because he's going to lose his
I just
job.
look at him the option game with Miles Sanders.
Yeah.
Like obviously a lot of teams are gonna be spying on him. But his athleticism has shown that like when he gets pressured, he looks for his legs. He doesn't look like downfield. And I think that 41 yards a game is a target for him that is easily achievable. If he plays 17 games.
I think that it's possible for if he in every game he plays this year, not counting the game he gets hurt, for him to have over 41 rushing yards.
For sure, I guarantee that.
Yeah. Well, not every game, but
I think maybe if let's say he plays 17 games, there will be no more than let's say he plays 17 games.
Let's say pigs can fly. That's more likely than Hurts
I
playing
mean,
17
football
games.
is literally a flying pig.
He will have for at least 14 games where he rushes for 41 yards.
Yeah, no, 100%. If he
and probably
that's
5.
That's 560 yards right there.
And probably
14,
5. No, and probably 5 where he rushes for 100.
Exactly. I think over 700 is a great bet.
So what would you put as the over-under for games Hurts starts?
10.
I will bet with you.
I'll take the over. I'll take the over at 10.5.
You would bet on that?
Yeah,
100%.
I would.
$20?
$20 even odds.
$20 even odds.
10.5 starts.
Yeah, starts. All right. I just made $20.
Literally, that's the freest cash I've ever seen. He overrates Gardner Minshew like crazy.
Dude, the
I don't
team
think it's about
has
overrating Gardner Minshew. I think it's about
consistently
his health.
They've consistently shown they don't believe in Jalen Hurts. They've been going out looking for quarterbacks all offseason.
Nick Sirianni owes nothing to Jalen Hurts also.
100%. They didn't spend huge draft capital on him. He was drafted to be a backup.
Yep.
He was not drafted to be a starter.
to be Taysom Hill.
But he's good, and he's gonna be a good quarterback.
Yeah,
I agree with his under passing yards, but
dude, I think Gardner
We
Minshew
need
is
a
going
bet.
to
We
be.
need a bet from you.
I think it's more likely that Gardner Minshew starts week 1.
No.
Okay, that's crazy.
not
Hey,
gonna-
let's hear a bet from you.
That's bad.
Bet for me.
That's not gonna happen.
I have a number of ones. I'm going to say, if we're going with the player props, Hockenson over 770.5 receiving yards.
770.
Great bet.
Hockenson was drafted 6th overall to be a primary receiver on a team that has no other great receivers right
They
now.
have no target. They have no weapons right now.
Jared Goff,
6 overall draft pick.
he was 6th overall. He was drafted 6th overall 2 years ago.
2018.
This is his 3rd year in the
Yeah,
league.
2018.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
And for
He's ugly
Hey,
now.
big
Got
cock,
his hair.
big cock.
yeah, big cock, and they need him to be the guy,
they do. They desperately need him to be the guy.
and he's very good, and he's going to be the guy. And
Stafford likes his tight ends too.
it's
not
Goff.
Stafford.
It's Goff.
Goff.
And I'm
Dude,
trying to
I
get the
just-
exact
I said that
numbers.
twice today.
No,
Goff likes his tight
I
end.
know.
the
That's what I'm
Goff,
saying.
I'm
I said
pretty
that
sure,
twice
and
today.
I don't want to butcher the number, and that's why I wasn't going to say it. But there was a number on the frequency that Goff throws to tight ends. Like, it was specifically when they switched to, like, starting Higbee, because they weren't starting Higbee before. Like, they were running a different offense. Like, the rate that he was throwing to tight ends was, like, an absurd amount. And he's not a deep ball guy. He's not a contested catch guy. Like, he wants the over the middle. He wants middle of the field, like, crossing routes or, like, little in routes. Like, he wants Hawkinson's game. And I think 770 is, like, I think that's so easy.
Because, like we just said, that's around 40 yards a game.
Yeah, I think that's insanely easy for Hawkinson.
yards a game. And
then
there's not that many targets for Goff there.
yeah, there's not. And then my next
There's not that
one
many weapons.
is over 6 touchdowns for Ceedee Lamb.
Over 6 touchdowns for Ceedee.
That's
He's
gonna
gonna have
be-
an incredible year this year.
Is it 6 flat?
6 flat. So you can push on that.
Yeah, the push.
I would take that bet.
It's nice having
I'll take that bet.
having the.
That's
push.
like they're gonna score so much.
I
They're gonna
want
score
to
so much.
pull up all of my prop bets.
If
so I
Dak
can
Prescott stays
remember them.
healthy.
If
This is why betting NFL is so hard because guys can get hurt.
yeah,
of
guys
course.
can get hurt.
Yeah.
You think about that. In your
Yeah,
bets.
so that's why overs are hard, and that's why there's a nice premium. But I actually, now that you say it, the under, I will be betting that under Jalen Hurts. Yeah, passing yards.
Yeah.
Because I just bet him under 10.5 starts.
Yeah,
That's a
free.
fake
That's free
bet. That's a
cash
fake
for me.
bet, though.
Yeah,
That's a
that's
fake
free cash for me.
No, that's a real bet.
All right, my lock.
Ooh, wait, can we do
Because-
team over-unders?
Yeah, I got some.
'Cause I got some
team
This
team
is a
over-unders.
team over under.
Okay,
Okay,
well,
my
are you
lock
your
happens
best
to be
bet?
Yeah, this is my best bet.
Well,
Should we
I think we
rank
should
on
do
the end?
those. Yeah,
Yeah.
we usually the end. If you have any
It's
other,
9:45.
if you have any it's 9:45.
Yeah, we got.
Let's
some
do let's do one quick over-unders that aren't best bets and then best bets.
Okay, I'm just Bills over 11 wins. I love 11. You have to push on 11 and 6, but I think that they win 12 games. That team is incredible. I think that Josh Allen's
It is a good team.
gonna have an incredible year. Even with like with their shitty run game with Zach Moss and Devin Singletary, I think that
Well, they don't run the ball ever.
yeah, exactly. And so I think I'm excited to watch that team this year, and I think over 11's a lock.
I think it's a respectable good one. I'm gonna go with my over-unders Jaguars over 6.5 wins, and it's because it's not my lock, but I think over 6.5 wins is beautiful. It's so juicy. I already said how all my things about the Jaguars though, so I'm gonna repeat them.
I don't have a specific over under on a team other than my lock.
All right,
So
you
we'll
want to
skip
go into
it.
best bet?
We'll skip it.
I got like 3.
I'll give you
I'll
a good long shot.
Okay.
I'll give you a good long shot bet to
Yeah.
make up for my no
Okay.
over under. Rams to win the Super Bowl is 1,600 plus 1,600. That's a good number.
So
That's
I
a
was gonna
really
say,
good number.
give your long odds best bet and
Yeah.
your over under best bet.
That's my long odds best bet is Rams to win the
Look at
Super
this.
Bowl plus 1,600.
Oh wait, I wish I had it on the top of my head.
Yeah, you can. I know my bet. I know.
I'm just gonna lift off a few more bets that I think. With the one thing, I think Herbert over 4,450 passing yards. I think
that's a lot.
I know it is a lot.
It's
I
more
love
fun
Herbert.
to take overs.
I love Herbert. That's not my lock. My lock's actually a player prop. My like lock.
All right, let's go. Lock, baby.
Well, there's one. I have one more to piss him off a little bit. It's
God.
Tua over 11.5 interceptions.
That doesn't piss me off. That's fine.
That guy fucking sucks at football. I'm just gonna tell you that right now. He's not good. He loves chucking the ball into double coverage. Like,
How many weeks in does it take him to get to 12 interceptions?
I think that 12 weeks. I think that for me, we're talking about Mac Jones. I hate Alabama quarterbacks. I have a little quiz for you two. Who was the last good Alabama quarterback in the NFL?
AJ McCarron.
No, he's not good.
This is a great example of flawed logic, though. Sorry.
No, but who's the last good? Who's the last good?
Flawed logic.
No, answer the question.
So this is what the question should be.
No.
If you want to compare apples to apples, it should be what's the last Alabama quarterback that was really good that was drafted at this point or higher? Because if it's an Alabama quarterback that no one ever thought was going to be good, then of course, like let's say the best quarterback ever goes to Alabama, are they suddenly bad because no other quarterback has been good from Alabama?
No, but just think about it. Not even like based off their value of where they got drafted. Name the last good Alabama quarterback.
Dude, name the last good. Who do you think's a better? Name the last good Oregon quarterback. Name the last
Herbert.
good.
No,
No, but I'm saying name the last good North Dakota State quarterback.
No. But when you think about it,
Name the last good Ohio State quarterback.
But Alabama's been so dominant for so many years, and their last good quarterback was Joe Namath.
They never
in
recruited
the
great
70s.
quarterbacks.
Their last good quarterback was the 70s. They all come from Alabama and have the best team possible around them.
They haven't been drafted high because no one thought they were going to be good. AJ McCarron was drafted like the 5th round.
Yeah.
They don't have good.
They
They've
haven't
never
been
produced good
drafted high,
NFL
But
quarterbacks.
that means nothing to me.
Tua is so bad though. I will
can't be
always
bad.
take Tua. I'll take the under on
But
any
not
Tua
because
bet.
he went to Alabama.
You just took the over on him to a bet.
No, over on his interception. That's pretty funny.
Okay.
All right, my lock, and everyone at home should put 10 units on this bet.
Everyone at home.
Everyone at home should put 10 units on this bet because it's a great bet. And I don't remember the exact odds of it because Goldberg stole my computer.
Sorry.
Packers over 10.5 wins. This was a team that just won 13-3, and now they have. This is gonna be the last season with Aaron Rodgers. There's no reason why he's gonna get any worse. Maybe touchdowns wise, but like as an actual player and contribution to his team, he's gonna be just as good. They just went 13-3 last year, and now they have another game. I would take this at over. It wouldn't be as much of a lock at 11.5, but I would take over an 11.5 on the Packers. I think they go 12-5 is their floor.
Okay. Over 10.5 is at minus 140. There's a little bit of juice, but
I don't think that's what I had it at either. I think I had it at better odds.
Okay, I'm just gonna run through
What's the odds
quickly.
right there on the Packers?
Minus 135 over 10.
It's almost essentially the same thing, but
Yeah.
10.5 wins for the Packers. Come on.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you all of my win total over unders. I'm gonna stick it to 5 of them, and these are 5. If you're at home and you're like, I want to tail Goldberg's over unders, these are the 5 you're taking. You're taking. Oh, okay, wait. Let me look something really quickly.
Okay.
We'll cut right at this. You go. Talk where you're going. Wait.
I'll say my second biggest lock, and this is something at really good value at plus 215. Dak Prescott, comeback player of the year. I mean, he has to have
It's a great bet.
just a little bit above, but if he has a season that's been on par with his season so far in his career, it's a lock.
This is the problem.
And
You
yeah,
have
he
a
could be
lot of good players who were injured last year.
injured. Yep, that's true.
You know, you have Nick Bosa.
Yep.
You're right. He's the first guy that comes to mind. You have Joe Burrow, another guy who comes to mind. OBJ, Saquon,
Christian McCaffrey,
It's a tough. That comeback player of the year.
George Kittle.
Comeback player of the year is a tough thing to bet on.
Yep, for sure.
And Dak could easily win it, right?
Yeah.
If he has even near where he was playing at the end when he got hurt last year, it could easily be
Yep.
comeback player of the year. It's just there's so many guys.
Like if Burrow
So
comes out and has
many
a
guys.
stellar season, he gets it.
All right,
It's
now
just tough.
For sure.
what I'm about to tell you
Should
is a
change it to the
system.
Alex Smith award though.
What I'm about to tell you is a system,
Don't
and this is
listen
gonna be
to this.
separate from my personal, emotional. This is why I like this team. This is why I'm taking them. The bottom 5 teams in O-line spending. I went back 5 seasons. You take past 5 seasons, 5 teams bottom in O-line spending, and you take the under on their win total. You would be 22-3.
Okay.
Teams that don't spend enough on their O-line, and this tells you a couple things. This tells you the biggest thing is takeaway is that NFL teams are pretty good at judging O-line talent. So if you're spending more on your O-line, it's probably actually better. And if you're not spending on your O-line, either it's not factored in to Vegas enough, maybe rookies aren't as good on O-line as people think. Regardless what it means, if you are spending on your O-line, bottom 5, you are, what percentage of the time is that? It's an absurd amount. It's like
Yeah.
80%
85,
plus,
yeah.
85 plus. Yeah, 85% of the time, you're going to go under your
Hit
win
the
total.
under.
Here are those teams. And I would recommend betting the under on all of these teams, and especially the one with the lowest spending. The Steelers, under 8.5 wins.
Wow, 8.5.
Steelers under 8.5 wins.
Wow.
The Vikings, under 9 wins.
You were just saying how good the Vikings
This
were.
is a system. This is absent of any emotional human bias in here. This is just a system.
Yeah,
Smart man, folks.
This is just a system. Don't ride with me. Ride with the system.
Okay.
The Steelers under. The Vikings under 9.
Yep.
Now, this one's
Push
interesting.
that.
I didn't expect this one. The Bears under 7.5.
That's way too low for the
Okay.
Bears.
This is one that the Steelers one matches my emotion.
I kind of like
The Vikings one doesn't. The Bears one I'm ambivalent. The next 2 bottom 5 in O-line, they match how I feel about these teams also. So I really like them. I really, really like. I believe it's 9.5. Dolphins under 9.5. I think
I love it too.
that's borderline my best bet. That's borderline my best bet is Dolphins under 9.5 wins. That is a crazy high line to me for a team that was scoring based off of turnovers more than anyone in the NFL last year.
Yep.
And then the last one is the Panthers, a team that I think very well could finish as the worst team in the NFL this season.
What's their
7.5.
Plus 4,000.
Under 7.5 wins, Panthers. The 2 unders that I like the most are the Panthers Panthers, Dolphins, Steelers. Those 3 unders, those will go 3-0 on those unders. Those will go 3-0. We'll montage back this. Panthers under 7.5,
montage.
Steelers under 8.5, and Dolphins under 9. Those will all win.
Okay.
And now my overs, not as no system there, but teams that spend higher in O-line there is correlation there with going over on their win total. And the teams that I have over-unders for, they're almost all of them are top 7. All of my over-unders actually, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They're all top 8 in O-line spending. Over on the Jaguars, 6.5. Over on the Browns, 10.5. Over on the Washington football team, 8.5. And over on the Cardinals, 8.5.
Over on the Washington football team. 8.5.
Those are all top in spending. And my best bet of the season, if you're making one bet, is the Washington football team over 8.5 wins. And my long shot is they're going to the motherfucking Super Bowl, baby. We're going to Disney World.
I hate this bet.
And the Jaguars might win the division. I don't know. They probably won't. I might lose $250 on that. But they could. They're number one. Look at it. They're number one in O-line spending in the NFL right now.
But
that's all I have.
Did anyone say that their O-line was good last year?
You can look at their O-line spending last year. Look at their O-line spending last year. It wasn't first. Like 2020. It's not sorted by O-line, right? It's not sorted by something else. Look where it is.
Oh, wow.
It's way lower.
Whoa.
They go out and they spend some money on their O-line. Oh, they got better this year. I wonder why. Because they spend on O-line. It matters. Teams that spend on O-line, the Browns, the Jaguars,
They spent
the football team.
They went up $18 million in O-line spending.
There you go.
Teams are good at identifying who's good at O-line. Spending money on O-line is good. It makes it better.
$20 million. Sorry,
$20 million more.
$20 million in O-line.
And let's look at who didn't spend money on O-line last year.
Okay, but also the Raiders had the highest O-line last year, and they did win. They went 8-8.
So that correlation that I was talking about, the 22-3, that is for under on bottom 5 spending. The over on top 5 spending, I looked at that also, and it was something like it was like 15 and 10. So it still was like a good system. You would have profited units, but not fucking the insane on the unders for teams that don't spend.
Okay, if Goldberg is right on this, I'm very nervous in my Packers bet. The Packers went from 3rd in O-line spending to bottom 10.
Then they
lost. Who'd they lose? Bakhtiari?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
The
not
best
gonna be
O-lineman.
good. That's not gonna be good.
You
you could say their
You want to go to
center's
your
the best.
You guys don't have that much time, so you
Yeah.
should go to your best bet.
I said my best bet.
Oh, you said
Packers,
yours?
and so
Oh,
did
you
you.
did. Okay, guys. So it's me. So I'm gonna give my honorable mention. I really like the value here. We've been talking about the Skins all day. Redskins to win the NFC East, plus 240.
They won't change the name back.
Oh, they want to America's team.
What is there a plan to change it back right now?
Yeah.
Yes. There's a.
But if
What?
they keep
No,
winning,
not change it back. Change it to.
that would be crazy. You know what?
Change it back to the
It wasn't
Skins.
that bad before. What if they should go the opposite direction? Make it like really
Okay,
bad.
so my best
Like
bet
Washington.
is a line that does not make sense to me whatsoever. I don't understand how it's the line. It really does. No, it's not. You can't see it.
No.
It's James Robinson over 650 rushing yards.
That'll change.
I got it. I got this today.
Can I bet that right
I got
now?
this today on Bovada.
That's
Literally the biggest lock of all time. What is that?
I said that's retarded. It'll
It's
wet
literally,
that out.
yeah, of course. By the time you guys, whoever's watching this sees this, it'll probably won't be 650.
Dude,
But
cancel.
holy shit, this line is ridiculous. There's no reason not to bet this. I would bet this up to, I don't know, I think in my notes I said I would bet it up to 825 yards. Last year, he ended up at 1,070 yards,
Ugh.
5th in the NFL. And his line that I got at today was 650 yards. ETN just went down 2 days ago. This is a no-brainer for me. I would
More
put
than
10
2
units
days
on
ago.
this. Yeah.
More than Taze goes ago. That's actually
How long
That's
was that?
crazy.
Was
That's
that
still up.
5.
That's
There
crazy.
you go. I think that if he doesn't go...
Check Gus Edwards' line.
If he does not go
Check
over
Gus Edwards'
650 and a half yards, I will pay everyone who's listening to this $20.
Wow.
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 He's gonna have to pay out $60.
Hey.
Crazy.
What? Can you check Gus Edwards' line for me? Because Gus Edwards, how many years has he been in the NFL?
The bus.
How many years?
He's old.
Gus the
3 to
Bus.
5.
3 to 5 years.
I think
he has
on the
not.
other side.
He has not had under 700 rushing
Don't
yards
show.
in a
Guess,
season.
Guess Gus Edwards' age. Wait, I'll guess all.
27.
I was gonna say 28. How old is he?
26.
Ooh.
Gus
Yeah.
Edwards. How many seasons in the NFL is that? 3 or 5?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know how old he is when he got here.
This is about to be his third year.
No,
Oh,
that can't be
wow.
right. That
He
can't
could
be
have been
right.
an old guy.
That can't be right.
Where did he go to college?
He's been in the
It's
league.
about to be his fourth year.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Gus Edwards, in all 3 years, playing with Lamar Jackson, playing with J.K. Dobbins and Mark Ingram last year, has had over 700 yards in every season rushing, right? I would love to know his line as of right now. Because if they're not changing Robinson's line yet, there's no reason why Gus Edwards should be like 450.
Look it up.
And I'm smashing the over.
Yeah, I'm literally coming inside the over. I'm smashing the over. I'm gonna go. Me and the over have been talking and shooters for a couple hours. I'm gonna ask them to come back to the penthouse because I'm gonna fuck the over. I'm gonna smash the over.
I might be there to watch if I get permission. We'll see.
You guys remember when Ron Rivera died with the Super Bowl? That was crazy. Oh my god, that was insane. That was a crazy time for the world of sports.
Yeah,
We are now officially 15 minutes away from our high stakes.
You know
draft.
what?
Okay, my final thing is my big boy over plus
My phone's
500
been
bet.
dead for a while.
That's my phone.
No.
Your phone's been dead for. My phone's been dead too.
No.
Oh no, my phone's still going.
What about mine? We lost Goldberg. Oh no, we have Goldberg.
You're good.
Man. We
Mine
have
stopped.
Goldberg.
My phone stopped recording